Welcome to the Kickstart Your Edge Play to Win Leadership Podcast,
where we've flipped the script with our groundbreaking modus operandi to bring you real, relevant, and relatable tactics and techniques to master your own play to win mindset.
Talk about a superpower. It's time to iron your cape.
What we know for sure is what got you here won't get you there.
You can't see the spinach in your own teeth.
And finally, hang on, because this one is really deep. Once you realize that you are the traffic, everything makes complete and unadulterated sense.
Welcome to the Edge, where playing not to lose is not an option. So, Karen, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Go.
Who is one of the best leaders you've ever had?
I got to go with Bob. and I mean, in the past, I've said everybody needs a Bob. Right. So Bob was a guy who I met years and years and years ago when I was a sergeant in Chatham, and he came in as the town administrator and was, highly educated, highly intelligent, retired police chief. And this was a guy who made things happen and got things done. And also was very, very, I don't know, we're on the same page about a lot of things, real pro education, real future focused. And he was a guy who basically my career trajectory changed because he wouldn't allow the status quo to be a way of life in the town that I worked at. And he shook things up, and people left, and people got promoted, and more people left, and more people got promoted. And yeah, just so open and such a growth mindset.
You know, I love it, because what I want to ask the people listening to the podcast today is, how would the people who work for you or with you, how would they describe you? What would be some of the characteristics? Would you be on their top 3 list? Would you be on their bottom 3 list? Would you be forgettable? Would you be memorable? The reason why I bring this up is because we've been recently working with a group, and the group has a lot of finger pointing of what's wrong. And all of it, I like to say, points up, and it's just the leadership. It's just, the term is the leadership. And then they can give you example after example after example of what the problem is. So it's interesting, because the work we do is about leading yourself, leading others, and then leading the business or the organization. Part of leading yourself is self-responsibility. And it got Karen and I really thinking, how can people start to be the leader they wish they had?
I think that quote, Jen, be the leader that you wish you had, I think that's a Simon Sinek thing. I'm not 100% sure. If people want to Google it, go ahead. But, it's really about, about the bosses that you've had, about were they the neon signs for things that you don't want to do or things that you don't want to be? Or are they, the directions for the things and the things that are important to you? And it's understanding, how do you take that self-responsibility? It's understanding that if you were to show up and be the leader that you wish you had, how much would change for you? Because I think that's where all of your power actually really lies. Because when you talk about this group of people, Jen, it's interesting because there's leaders, and they're blaming leaders that are above them. And when they're blaming the leaders that are above them, what they're actually doing is they're not being great leaders, because they're not taking responsibility.
Yeah, it makes me think, to be a great leader, doesn't mean you have to have a great leader.
Mm-mm. Oh God, no.
Right. And so, and it's interesting because a lot of times people will focus on what other people aren't doing that they wish they were doing. And then it creates a trickle effect because then that leader will start doing things that other people wish they wouldn't do. And so it's very interesting. So I think it is, instead of, I wish they would do that, it's how actually can I do more of that? So how can I listen more? How can I acknowledge more? How can I give recognition? How can I keep engagement high? How can I sell a concept? Versus they're not doing it. Okay, great. It's up to you. Be a leader. Stand out. Be the leader you wish you had so that the environment still has those characteristics in it. And you're not looking for someone else to provide it. It's your opportunity to be able to stand up and be that leader using those characteristics that truly can change a culture.
Yeah. And it really does start with you.
It's completely self-responsibility.
It absolutely is in your control. And when you think that it's not, it's almost like you're giving up. Right. And then you get the whole victim mentality of, this is just how it is around here. Well, you know what? It is, because that's what you're feeding into. And you get a chance to show up different. It's that old saying, Jen, that people think that, two people in a relationship need to change for the relationship to change, but only one person needs to change. And if you want to take that power back and you want to be that person that's going to make that change, go for it. But don't bitch about somebody else.
Yeah, it's about being at the cause of the environment versus at the effect. And if we give away all our power to what someone does or doesn't do, that is to be leading us, that's not a strong position to play from. The play to win mindset is, despite everything that's happening around me, I'm going to show up and be the leader that this organization needs to be able to move ourselves forward. It just got us to be really reflective that we got to quit pointing the finger up, down, and sideways, and instead turn the finger to ourselves to say, what can I do to be, the change I'd like to see in the world? I guess that's it. I was just pulling a little Gandhi there at the end. So yeah, something for you to think about. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Kickstart Your Edge Play to Win Leadership Podcast.
Craving more? Of course you are.
Check out our website at kickstartyouredge.com,
where we fire you up, fan the flames of your competitive edge culture, and ignite your tenacious pursuit of an all-out play-to-win mindset.